Well, I've had another one of these sketchy iron nuggets. Long way away from the Roman patch, but I think I was finding in there, so that's interesting. Well, I could get excited about this thing that I just found. It was under 2 roots, and I've absolutely killed myself getting it out. But I think it's rubbish, but I don't know, because it's covered in earth. So let's unwrap it together and see my sad face. Or maybe not, who knows? Anyway, let's have a look. So there it is. Don't rub the blob. Oh, it bent. Oh, and it probably snapped. Yeah, it did. It bent and it snapped. Or maybe it didn't, I don't know. Yeah, it bends. There could be an incredibly valuable silver coin, but they don't bend. It's a bit of tin foil. There you go. It's a bottle top of some kind. Well, I couldn't stay away, and I got the big coil out, and I got the first banging signal. You know, you just can't seem to get everything in 1 or 2 or 3 goes. But anyway, hoping this is the real deal. But let's go get it. So it's under here. I thought I was going to get it right out. But the soil is quite... Oh, root. I hate you, root. I hate you. I shouldn't hate a root, really. But I can't help it. There you go. It's, well, it might probably not out, but at least I'm through to the easy stuff. And it should mean I've got it in the middle, but normally, with my terrible pinpointing skills, it's by the side. Anyway, see, digging up that bottle cap wore me out. Well, it's still in there, and it's reading. Oh, it had 70. So a copper. Did that just drop out? Is that a shotgun shell? I believe it is. Oh yes. Oh, not what I wanted. You have no idea. Well, you may do. How hard I've worked for this. I think you know what it is. I think I know what it is, but I don't know for sure yet. But here's your hole. And it was right under that root. Right under it. And it's in here. And I'm going to get up close for you. You see that green edge there? That's a lovely green edge. Oh, you see it there? Yes, you do. Yes, I do too. Let's see how close I can get you to it. Right up close. Look at that. That is a Roman. And it's in good nick as well. Look at that. You're seeing more of it than I am right now, but I think I can see a crown. You'll see, I took it off camera because I'm so tired and emotional. But there it is. I think I can see a crown, but I'm not sure. You can probably see it better than I. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus close up. Actually, probably best if I do it like that then. Because my fingers will be the focal point. Yeah. That's an emperor. Can't tell who it is at this second. Looks like it's got a helmet on. Now, I think the trouble is with this. They don't focus. And then you hold it there for long enough, you get fed up with holding it, then suddenly it focuses, and you can't tell by looking at the viewfinder whether it's focused or not. So just hold it there, and hold it there. And as I'm looking at it, it looks like it's in fab condition. Let's turn it over for you. Oh yeah, look at that. Yes. Now this might be an Antoninus. Anyway, which means a low-grade silver coin after they got rid of the denarii and debased, and then rebased, and then debased. And this is going to be one of them. Now, I don't need to rub this one to see that. But this one might do well to have a little rub. Just a little one. No, it doesn't want a little one. And that's a very interesting coin, because I don't recognise it. It's late. And I have no idea who it is. But anyway, oh, I've done it. I found it. I've used the deep coil for the job. You can hear us. And it wasn't exactly a weak signal, but it was a shotgun cartridge signal, as I expected it might be. But it's just a little bit different. And there we have it. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Roman coin. Oh yes. Now, this is due south, well not due south, but straight down the hill from where I found the Clodus albinus. And the other stuff is like, if I'm in the middle of the clock, the other stuff is at 10 o'clock. And this is, the Clodus albinus is like at 12 o'clock. And this is 50 yards, 50 meters down from that road. So actually, I'm not going to hold this coin in my hand. Because believe it or not, my hands have acid all over them, and I prefer it not to get on them too much. But I will take a look at this coin and work out what it is. If it's silver, I might give it a little bit of ultrasonic. If it's copper, I think I'm going to leave it as it is, unless there's a crust that comes off as it dries. And if there is, I'll take that crust off with a toothpick. Oh yes, and talk about rubbing the coin. Whew. You can actually do it with a steel tip pen or a diamond brush under a microscope. You can do all those things. That's what the coin restorers do. Anyway, yes, and maybe there's more. Half this is still covered by, you know, bush that I can't get into, and they will tow that away at some point and burn it, and then they're going to bulldoze this whole area and then replant it. And when they bulldoze it, who knows what I'll find. And I'm so glad I found another coin, because, you know, I can't believe I got them all, and I still can't believe I got them all, but it was starting to feel like it. But anyway, I've defined at least one far corner of this spot, and it maybe goes deeper, so I'll be working down there. Anyway, hurrah! I just love funny Romans. Look at that baby. Well, actually, it's better at that angle because the light hits the relief better. Let's turn it over and have a look at the Emperor Dubious. There you go. That's probably the best angle. It's a fine portrait. And you can see the sun crown on his head. I don't know who he is though. No, I don't. It's going to be somebody out of the crisis of the 3rd century, I suspect. What a wonderful portrait. I think this is going to be low-grade silver. Well, one Roman coin, as far as I'm concerned, is a big success. That's what I found in my 2.5 hours. So, well, if I hadn't got it, it would have been not such a great result. But anyway, got it. And it's a lovely one too. And I pushed back the Roman boundary on where it should be here. So I'm now looking at basically something that's 20 yards wide, 50 yards long. Could be a house. Could just be a road. Could be just the way that it got ploughed up in the past by the forestry people. Anyway, they're going to be back, and they're certainly going to be churning this up. I think this is my last visit for now. I might come back in a few weeks' time to see if they've cleared more away, but it's still really difficult to get around, to say the least. But anyway, one more Roman coin to the collection, and now I will be moving to a different part of the forested treasure to see what I can find. I hope you'll be coming along with me then. Well, I can't keep away, and who can blame me? Now, this is what I think I've got. I think I've got a 1st century drop, and I've got a 3rd century drop. Now, maybe because over the 300 years Romans were going up and down here, and once every century someone fell off his horse, or it could be all sorts of other reasons. But anyway, I now got an area which is 40 meters wide and 50 meters deep, so it might be a lot bigger than that. So I'm going to go a little bit to the left of it and see if there's anything in the areas to the, well, from where I'm standing, to the right of that. And that's why I'm here, and see if I can find some more. So off we go. Let's see if the fates are kind. Now I keep finding these iron balls, and I take it they're Roman, Don't know what they're doing here. Maybe there's a forge here. Maybe this is just kind of spruish stuff. I don't know. You can make up all sorts of fantasies about it, but if you know, post below. And they're iron, pretty much solid iron, irregular, and always walnut shaped. No idea myself. I've been out here a couple of hours, maybe getting on for 3 now, and I've found nothing. Rien, zip, nul, niet. So anyway, I thought I'd tell you a story. So there's 2 silver coins that I found. One is of the Emperor Gallienus, and the other one is of the Gallic Emperor, or I don't know, the Caesar of the breakaway emperor of the Gallic Empire, which was mainly France, UK, Spain, all up there. So you really already had a split between the Eastern Empire and the Western Empire. Now, the Roman emperor was Gallienus, and he ruled with a group of oligarchs, well, military oligarchs, governors, who didn't have a great reputation. They was called something like the 12 Tyrants or something like that. And he and Postumus were basically at war. Not that Postumus wanted Italy and all that. He just wanted to keep his empire, but Gallienus wanted to reunite the Roman Empire like they always do. So anyway, Gallienus had one of his right-hand men, the governor or oligarch or magnate, as they used to call them in the Middle Ages, of the area around Milan, was called, this is a difficult one to remember, Aurelius. I'm no good at pronouncing Roman words, I must say. You know, it's like the coin Antonina. It's worse than aluminum. But anyway, Aurelius, something like that. You can look him up. Anyway, he was brought in because he was took the fancy of Gallienus, thought he was talented, and he set up Gallienus's cavalry for him, and was a big general, won lots of battles, you know, very impressive. Anyway, he fell out with Gallienus, like everybody always does in the Roman Empire, fell out with him, and ended up actually minting coins in Postumus's name as a kind of invite to, hey, why don't me and you get together and we can take Italy, kind of invitation. But anyway, Postumus, who was a pretty smart cookie, I mean, he lasted a long time for a Roman emperor, he said, you know, he didn't say pass, he just didn't respond. So there was Aurelius minting out these Postumus coins. Now, Gallienus didn't really like that very much, but before he could kick his rear end, he got murdered by his oligarchs, or his right-handed men, his committee of sub-rulers stroke governors. And that was his lot. Now, when that happened, they then turned on Aurelius and killed him, because he was treacherous to Gallienus, who they just murdered. That's Rome for you. Anyway, Postumus, on the other hand, carried on going. And what a name, Postumus. I mean, you know, posthumous award tends to mean like you're dead already. But anyway, dead already emperor was still doing his Gallic Empire thing and doing pretty well. And he had a rebellion. There's always having rebellions. And that's probably because basically the communications were not quite good enough to keep control of the size of the empire. So it fell to pieces, basically. Well, one of the reasons it fell to pieces. But anyway, so the guy who rebelled was up on the sort of German borders, Laelianus, something like that. Anyway, if you look up Postumus, I can pronounce Postumus, you'll see him. Anyway, so Postumus goes up there, kicks him out, executes him, and then his legions say, oh great, can we sack Mainz, as in Mainz the city, or whatever it's called in Roman times. And he went, no, let's not do that, no, part of our empire, no, leave him alone. And the Roman soldiers went, oh, sod that for a game of soldiers, murdered him and sacked the city. And that was his lot. So, you know, that is typical of the crisis of the 3rd century when the Roman Empire fell to bits. Now, there's many reasons. Stop that metal detector. Stop it. Maybe I found something. No, I just think it's getting bored. Anyway, there's many reasons why Rome fell to bits. But in my mind, it's quite simple. The Antonine Plague during the period of Marcus Aurelius was so bad that it basically wrecked the Roman Empire. What it meant was the empire, which was based around cities, couldn't sustain a large enough population to maintain an empire that was so spread out, so diverse, and needed, quite a lot of money to maintain itself, roads and all that good stuff, baths, games. So because it was civic-based, it was a city-based culture, it fell to pieces, it couldn't keep its population up, and that left a vacuum for, inverted commas, the barbarians to sweep in over time and knock down the cultural and technical superiority of the Romans until they were even Stevens, and then it was just a numbers game and they took over. And you can kind of see this in the coins. I'm a great believer in that. If you look at the coins and you look at, say, the early part of the imperial period, Nero even, I mean, he was not a particularly good ruler, all the way up to Marcus Aurelius, and through you get a picture of basically depreciating currency, not just in value but in art. I mean, the portraits of the emperors of the time when Rome was at its high are amazing, and it gets more and more cartoonish as the time goes by, and as the sophistication of those civilizations falls away, you get a depreciation of the naturalistic and artwork and sophistication of the coins. So if you want to see what happened, just look at the coinage and you can trace it back. You can trace it back, and it wasn't downhill the whole way. The Roman Empire kind of made comebacks. You can see that in the coinage of people like Septimus Severus. But nonetheless, the journey is down, and very slowly but surely their coinage becomes very, very crude. And then, of course, when it actually does totally disintegrate, you get extremely crude coinage, and that stays crude till it starts to come back into sophistication in the UK in the Elizabethan period, in the late 1400s, 1500s, 1600s. And then it's really not until you get to the 1600s that you get back to a level of artistry that you were seeing in Rome. And that was also when you get back to the standard of living and life expectancy, more life expectancy, that the Roman Empire had. And so the coins and life expectancy kind of correlate. And that's because, as time passed in the Middle Ages, the system, technology, understanding, knowledge, communications, etc., came back and became more sophisticated, and life expectancy went up, and things got better, and people had more money, and they could spend more time making coinage rather than just hammering out a load of old flat silver discs. They could spend a bit of time and come up with new technology to make the milled coinage that we see being introduced in the 1700s. Anyway, I've probably bored you to death by now, and I've almost got my breath back, and I'm going to get out there and see if I can at least find one coin. But if I don't, I think I've had it for this site for some time. They're going to bulldoze this. They're going to take off all these twigs, which is covering half of the ground, making it impossible to detect. And they'll probably have a big bonfire in the middle. And then they will get a bulldozer in here, root up all the roots, and then basically plough it, for want of a better way. And what's down will come up, we hope. And we will find more, I'm sure. This is my excited face, because I've got a high conductive target after knocking myself out digging it. And it's definitely not an iron piece. No, and I think that iron stuff is slag. They've used it to fertilise the ground because of whatever pH or soil, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Anyway, this down here is definitely not one of them. It's in the sand, I haven't seen it, so let's get it together. Ooh, who knows what it's going to be? It's going to be rubbish, isn't it?